Welcome to another episode of Inside the Studio. I am your host, Cameron Lewis, and today I am going to be demoing the Joyo BantamP Meteor. This is a compact 20-watt amp head. It uses a single 12AX7 tube in the preamp and a solid-state power amp. It also comes with an effects loop, which is awesome because not a whole lot of amps of this size have an effects loop. For those of you who don't know, you can run your time-based effects in your effects loop, such as your reverb and your delay, and that'll keep them from getting too muddy. You can also run your phasers, flangers, choruses, whatever, and not have them affected by the drive section. You can also run the effects loop send to another amp that has a much bigger power amp section, say 50 to 100 watts, and be able to take care of all of your, powering needs. Today we're going to be using it just to power a 4x12 cabinet, which it easily does that. Usually I would suggest a 1x12, and I would normally do that. However, my 1x12 is currently out of commission until I can get the speaker replaced in it, which I do plan on doing soon. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get this set up to do what it needs to do, okay? So let me go ahead and get my guitar plugged in. So for this demo, I am using a custom BC Rich Warlock, EMG 81 in the bridge, EMG 85 in the neck position. I have not changed these strings in a while. I probably should. And let me reroute this guitar cable here so that I'm not trying to yank something down. All right. And for a pick, I'm just going to be using my standard star picks. I've got 1,000 of these things. It's a 0.88 millimeter, so it is kind of heavy for, playing clean, but we'll see what kind of clean sounds we can get out of this. And that's what we're going to be testing first, is the clean channel. So let me get it turned on, and I'll put everything at 12 o'clock except for the volume because I've got neighbors and I don't want to piss them off, okay? So the volume's at about 9 o'clock, and so this is on the bridge pickup. So I guess we can turn it up a little bit. Not bad. And so that is actually running through the greenback speaker that I've got in the bottom position on this vertical 4x12. I know it's rare to see one of those, isn't it? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this up, put it up on the vintage 30, that's the next position up, and kick this over to Overdrive and see how that sounds. And yeah, I'm going to use some magic here, and when I come back, it'll already be there. All right, we got it kicked over to the Overdrive channel. I'm going to use the vintage 30 first because, well, let's face it, that's your quintessential hard rock and heavy metal setting, or speaker, sorry. So once again, both gain and tone are at 12 o'clock. I did bring the volume back down to about 9 o'clock, so let's see how that sounds. I gotta say, that sounds pretty good to me. Now you can run an overdrive in front of it as a boost pedal, and I will do that in a later video. But for now, we're just testing how this sounds, and well, so far it sounds pretty good. Let's go ahead and check it out on speaker number 3, which is a PV Blue Marvel. And I'm not going to test out the last speaker on this simply because it's an old Fender Blue Label. It's kind of crackly even on clean. And when I say crackly, I mean it sounds fuzzy. It's old, like 1968 old. So we'll go ahead and give that a shot. All right, welcome back. Once again, we are testing out the Joyo BantamP Meteor, and now I have it on my PV Blue Marvel speaker. That's the one that came stock in that 1x12 cabinet that I got, but I'm going to be using it as my testing ground for other speakers. For instance, this cabinet was almost fully loaded. There was one missing. Almost fully loaded with Fender Blue Label speakers from 1968, and I left the wrong one in here because I forgot to test it out. So yeah, I'm going to be testing out the other two in the 1x12, but for now, you're here to listen to the Meteor. And yeah, let's give that a shot, shall we? Same settings as before, so we'll see. Not bad. All right, let's see. All right. So I am going to have to listen back to that to see just how it sounds, through those speakers, because right now I'm hearing all four of them. That is the nature of being right in front of it, but the microphone's only picking up whatever speaker is right there, with a little bit of bleed from the other three. Okay, so that was the Joyo BantamP Meteor. So the cool thing about these amps is they're all named in such a way that it kind of tells you what it's supposed to be a clone of. And with this one, the OR in Meteor is highlighted. So this is something to kind of get you that orange amp overdrive quality. And while it doesn't quite hit the mark, it does a really good job of getting close to it. So, I mean, it does sound unique. And that's the awesome thing. Oh yeah, I said I was going to test this out on some IRs, and well, I will. So give me just a second here. All right, you'll notice another cable right over here. Yeah, that is the effects loop send going straight to my interface. And yeah, it's going to sound like crap if I don't put the IR on it, but I will put an IR on it. In fact, let me go ahead and get an IR loader on here now, which is the one that I demoed before, the STL Tones Ignite NAD IR. So let me go ahead and go to my favorite one here, the Raunchy 412 that I used with the Ignite Emissary amp. So let's give it a shot. All right, so that is the Joyo BantamP Meteor. Like I said, little 20-watt amp. You can use it to run a 4x12. You can use it to run a 1x12. Either way, it's going to keep up with your drummer at band practice. And if you're playing a larger venue where they're going to mic up your cabs anyway, this is much easier. This thing right here is much easier to lug around than this thing right here. So yeah, the choice is yours. Now, like I said, this one is kind of a clone of an orange amp, which it does a good approximation of it. They also have the Joyo Zombie, which is, the MB is highlighted on that, so Mesa Boogie. The Atomic AC, so like your AC 30, or your AC 60, whichever one you're getting. I don't even think they make a 60. Anyway, yeah, they're all modeled after something. And if you can't find a sound you're looking for with them, you can always find other amps that are just as small, just as easy to carry, and they might not be about the same price, but they're not too far off. In fact, this one on Amazon goes for $149.99. And you know what? I am going to include a link for this in the description, just right down there. Oh yeah, the other cool thing about this particular amp is it comes with Bluetooth connectivity. So there's two switches over on this side here. One is clean and gain, or clean and overdrive. The other one says Bluetooth on it. And yeah, you just flip that switch on. That light right there that's red is going to turn blue. And then you just pair it with your phone. And if you want to play through, one of your favorite songs, you can play it through that. Granted, it's going to come out of your speaker cab, which is not going to sound the greatest, but it's better than nothing. So yeah, and while the amp is small, only putting out 20 watts, it is actually pretty loud. That you're hearing in this was with the volume set at 9 o'clock, so not even a quarter of the way up. And yeah, it was still loud on my end. So yeah, that's the Joyo BantamP Meteor. Granted, this wasn't a full demo of all the different tones you could get. This was showing you how the clean tone sounds, how the distorted tone sounds, and how it sounds, through different speakers. Hopefully this helped you out, and I hope to see you guys very soon. So yeah, there's that. Catch you later.